Hi everyone, my name's Pan and welcome to another edition of Bluebird Corner, the Cardiff City Fans podcast. If you do subscribe for the remaining days of August, you'll be in a draw to win a photo frame of the Wales squad from the 2016 semi-final of the European Championships in France again for that game against Portugal. So that might be a nice little present for someone for Christmas. So Cardiff City win 2 consecutive games away. That's the first time that's happened since February 2021. Believe it or not, one of those games was away to Luton 2-0 and the other was away to Bournemouth. So we've had a long wait, but it's been worth every minute of it. So Cardiff City, top of the league. It's lovely to be following a team this season that are doing well after a sort of gradual decline over the last 4 or 5 years. And there's so much to talk about in this game. So, before the game started, I was a little bit surprised that Salic didn't start. I think maybe there had been some inside knowledge from the players there that was shared with the manager, that possibly McGuinness, who's Luton's centre-back, obviously signed from City, may be more vulnerable to someone a bit pacier with a bit more movement instead of Salic, who's very physical and may have played into McGuinness's hands, really. So that might have been one of the reasons. Obviously, with Turnbull there starting instead of Colwell, as we thought might happen. And it was great again to see Lawler start in the central defence. So I was really surprised that City started the way we finished against the Dons, really. We controlled the opening 15, 20 minutes, the movement, the passing. It was fantastic to watch, really. And, obviously, I hope everyone's enjoying the football this season, the way we're playing under the new manager. You can see a different way of playing. There's a bravery on the ball. We're passing it out from the back, but there's that kind of confidence in the young lads, or the manager's got confidence in the young lads to stick to what he wants to do. So the first 15, 20 minutes, I think it could have been anything, this game, in terms of the scoreline. I remember sort of Robinson having a chance, really disappointing, really. I mean, he should have scored a bit more composure. It's a little bit similar against, Wimbledon. He was like 5 yards out on that cross from Chambers. Again, should have get it on target. It is a bit of a worry in terms of Robinson, hasn't scored since March. So, that was a good opportunity we missed. I thought Turnbull's shot, Turnbull played really well, by the way. But I think Turnbull's, when he had that clear shot from 20 yards, he had clear sighted goal, didn't really connect to it and, should have got it on target. So that was disappointing. And then there was Capaccio, who I thought in this game, as much as I've said he's probably our best player this season, I thought that he got outplayed by Ali, the Luton winger, throughout the game, really. And, I think he was, obviously he could have well been subbed because we were so vulnerable down that left-hand side. But certainly Capaccio, a fantastic young wing-back, but certainly a work in progress in terms of his defensive duties. And I think, with the chances we were creating, I think Colwell was superb in the midfield. The chances that we were creating, but also the chances that Luton were creating. If you look at the first half, I think there was like 15 odd shots, of which I think 5 Luton had on target, and we'd had about 8 shots with, I think, 1 on target. So that was disappointing. And, we could have easily gone in half time 3-0 down or 3-0 up. It was that type of game. It was kind of really open. I think, areas that we need to focus on is certainly the long balls through the middle. I think Luton noticed that long balls up, we were vulnerable with Lawler. There was one moment where Lawler was running, was back, was near the goal at the sort of the edge of the box, and he headed it out. Instead of heading it to the left or the right, he headed it straight in to the path of the striker. And I think that gave him an opportunity. I think Wells, for them, missed 2 clear chances. And there was another moment, I think, where Fish was, again in the centre of the box, and he headed it backwards, and that gave Wells a good opportunity. But Trott again absolutely superb. I think when he first came to the club, I thought, oh, here we go. Not much difference from Hovarth. I think that's what a lot of City fans told me in the early couple of games. But we've noticed that this guy against the Dons, he saved us 2 points. And against Luton, he definitely saved us 2 points with that fantastic save from an incredible shot by Saville, that you dive to the right. He also made a couple of other great saves. One was from Nordas. I think Nordas was through twice. Well, once was clear through. He should have done better the other time. It was a good save, reaction save down to the left from Trott. And another one from McGuinness in the second half where he leapt above Lawler and nearly going in the corner, but Trott got down to his right for a really good save. So I think Trott was definitely one of our best players on the day. But the overall game itself was incredible in terms of the amount of chances created. It was open. It was great to watch. It was a real, as I said, for League One football. Sky couldn't have asked anything better. So for us, I think I think I said before in the podcast prior to the match when I did the preview, I said, look, if Willock does play, he has to be, at least a 7 out of 10. Because I looked at Willock, and I think a lot of City fans who I've spoken to, we've seen Willock a number of times, haven't we? That he's very, very inconsistent. And if anything, at the beginning of the season, we would have said that he could be one of those players to go. We've got Ashford, we've got Davis, Tanner obviously signed a 4-year contract. I thought maybe Willock would be the one to go. And, I said in this game, he needed to play well for us to get anything from it. And he was absolutely outstanding. It was his best game for Cardiff City, in my view, since he's been at the club. He controlled the play. He had the right back in his pocket. His crossing was excellent. His intelligence on the ball. And, obviously when he won that ball back on the edge of the box and he dummied McGuinness, who fell on his backside, and smashed it in the left-hand corner with his left foot. That was a joy to see. And I think, the score could have been anything. We could have been 3-4-0 down half time. We could have been 2-3-0 up. We could have lost the game quite easily. And won the game quite easily as well. There was a lot of chances created by both sides. And I think, obviously, in a higher level, obviously we would have probably conceded a few goals. And as I said, from our point of view, there were chances that we could have taken. Obviously, Colwell's opportunity in the second half where he's cleaned through. And he tends to prefer to score amazing goals like free kicks instead of one-on-one. So, he played really well. I thought Ruben Colwell and Willock down that left were the best two players on the pitch for Cardiff City. They were absolutely outstanding. I know Ali Luton was outstanding, but certainly, those two were our best players. Turnbull, I thought, played really well until he went off again with an injury. It's a bit of a worry, isn't it, the amount of injuries that Turnbull picks up. But I think with Joe Colwell coming on, I don't think he is as effective as Turnbull. I think Turnbull's got a bit more quality about him. Robertson, obviously, I thought might have been on the bench for the game. NG was, but I imagine Robertson will be back in the team for the next game. He probably, he may be on the bench. BBM may play him in that midfield. But certainly, as I said, Turnbull, has looked very good early on this season. So it's really encouraging for City to have, 4 wins and a draw, unbeaten in 6 league and cup games. I think all City fans are really encouraged. But, this is a really important week now for City. We said before Tanner's injury and Turnbull's injury, we needed 4 players in. We desperately need a left back to sort of challenge Bagan. I think we need another centre back. I think we definitely need a winger, maybe 2, although with Willock playing really well now, maybe that's not the case. And possibly, who knows about Robinson? It's one of those ones, isn't it? Obviously he's getting to the latter stage of his career. If someone came in the Championship with a £2 million offer, is that a good time for City to take it? Obviously, the issue is getting another striker in. And, they're not easy to find or get at a decent price. So we've seen a number of clubs, other clubs, they brought strikers in. Our previous rivals down west there have brought in 2 or 3 strikers who haven't done anything, and they cost a lot of money. And Yates was one of those who was brought on as a sub yesterday. So it's not easy to find a striker, but we definitely do need 3 or 4 in this week to sort of maintain, our drive forward. And I'm not saying experienced players; they may be younger players, because I think, obviously, I'm quite surprised actually that we're top of the table. As I said, I wasn't expecting us to be in the top 6 early on, because we needed a bit more strength in depth. But we are getting to the stage now with 1 or 2 injuries that we will get found out. But as I said, the young players are proving that they're doing a really good job, and maybe 2 or 3 more youngsters joining the team. It just sort of creates that ethos that Murphy has instilled in the team, being brave on the ball, the confidence. That we've noticed, haven't we, this season, that every time the opposition goalkeeper has got the ball to pass back, our striker, or either it's Colwell or Robinson yesterday, were chasing down the keeper, and they're doing that every single time. And we noticed them against the Dons that nearly worked in our favour when the goalkeeper made a mistake, and Colwell nearly took advantage of that. Robinson had a fantastic effort from 50-odd yards. There was near enough pinpoint in terms of the goalkeeper had to tip it over the goal. So well done for Robinson there. And there was a lot more pluses in terms of the overall performance of the team. I think I think everyone was a 7 out of 10. I don't think anyone was less than that. As I said, Willock and Colwell for me were definitely 9s out of 10. And as I said, the overall team, it was a joy to watch. I mean, it was edge of the seat stuff, because one minute you think you're going to score, the next minute you think we're going to concede. So we have that. You have to be realistic as well, and look at that game. There were 30 odd shots in the game, and as I said, it could have been anything. So great to see. I hope you're all enjoying your Sunday after another win for City. These wins away don't certainly consecutive wins, as you can tell, don't happen that often. So it's really good to see. We really look forward to the game against Plymouth. Plymouth got their first win on the weekend, so well done to them. They're off the bottom, but they may take a bit of confidence, as we know Plymouth will bring down probably 2,000 to 2,500 fans, very good fans that support Plymouth. So there should be a crowd of, I think, 20,000. I think this Saturday we'll get 20,000 plus, no doubt. So it'll be great to hear your comments, and thanks very much for everyone who's been watching. As I said, we're going to do that prize draw at the end of this month, and we got a really good prize that we're going to announce in September, courtesy of our sponsors, Top Tier Cleaners, who've been great to us so far since we started 2 months ago. So we got a great prize for City fans for the month of September. So thanks very much for watching, and hope you have the rest of the weekend is really good, and bank holiday, and we shall see you next week. Take care.